Things are starting to get very bad for the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to UnwokeThoughts. Today, we are talking about this predicament that Kathy Hochul has found herself in. And who would have guessed that this would ever happen? But crime in New York has gotten so bad that Kathy Hochul has announced that she is going to start cracking down on crime, specifically around the New York subway systems. She is, in fact, deploying 750 National Guard members, as well as state and MTA officers. I believe those are Metropolitan Transportation Authority officers. But she's deploying these officers to conduct bag checks. Yes, 750 National Guard members because of this massive spike in crime in the city. Now, it's very interesting because I wonder where this crime is coming from. I wonder. Most of you probably know that Kathy Hochul made it a point in her campaign to say that illegal immigrants, or migrants as she calls them, from all over the world are welcome into New York and New York City. And then just very recently, she is on video panicking over the vast amount of migrants that have come to the state and the city. And she says that they can't handle anymore. But at the same time, it's weird. At the same time, her administration gives more money to migrants, free money, millions of dollars. They approved millions of dollars to give to illegal migrants that are in the city. And now they are seeing such a high rate of crime that she can no longer ignore it anymore. And she is having to deploy this massive amount of National Guard members to ensure people are safe when they travel in the subway system. But here's your beloved governor, Kathy Hochul, making her announcement of her 5-point plan to ensure that the people of New York City stay safe. Listen.
So today, in the wake of these latest attacks, I'm unveiling a 5-point plan to rid our subways of people who commit crimes and to protect all New Yorkers, whether you're a commuter or a transit worker. Point 1, I'm redeploying nearly 1,000 members of the New York State Police, MTA Police, and MTA National Guard to conduct bag checks in the city's busiest transit stations. We have Major General Shields, this is my team, the Army National Guard, and Superintendent Stephen James of the New York State Police. All of them have come together to help us figure out the resources that we can bring to this situation. So we'll be having 750 members of the New York National Guard, as well as another 250 personnel from state and MTA police.
So I think this is a perfect example of someone who creates a problem and then they prop themselves up as a savior to then fix the problem. And then you have people in New York like Alvin Bragg that let off criminals. They literally let off violent criminals back onto the street. But no, they have to hire 1,000, they have to deploy 1,000 National Guard members to take care of this problem. Imagine how much that costs the city of New York. Imagine the taxpayer. That bill is going directly to the taxpayer, not to mention these millions of dollars that are funding illegal immigrants and their way of life and their necessities. And then on top of all that, when this crime problem pops up, who is there to save the day? Yes, good old Governor Kathy Hochul. But let's take a little bit of a closer look at this and see what all of this entails, see what's going on. This is a Fox News article, and it says New York Governor Kathy Hochul calls in the National Guard and state police to help curb crime in NYC subways. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is sending in the state National Guard to New York City to help police curb a surge in crime in the city's subways. Announcing a 5-point plan on Wednesday, the Democratic governor said she was deploying 750 members of the National Guard to the subways to assist the New York City Police Department with bag searches at entrances to busy train stations. Quote, for people who are thinking about bringing a gun or knife on the subway, at least this creates a deterrent effect. You know what else creates a deterrent effect? Not giving millions of dollars to illegal immigrants. And also, not giving millions of dollars to illegal immigrants deters people from coming to New York City who then commit these crimes. But she goes on to say they might be thinking, you know what? It just may not be worth it because I listened to the mayor and I listened to the governor and they have a lot more people who are going to be checking my bags, Hochul said at a news conference in New York City. Wow. Kathy Hochul is all of a sudden starting to think clearly on this. I wonder why she doesn't think this way when it comes to inviting millions of illegal immigrants into the state of New York. She literally said that people from all over the world are welcome to come to New York. That's what she said. Those were her words, not mine. But the move came as part of a larger effort by the governor's office to address crime in the subways, which included a legislative proposal to ban people from trains for 3 years if they are convicted of assaulting a subway passenger, and the installation of cameras in conductor cabins to protect transit workers. So I think it's funny right here. They're banned for 3 years if they are convicted of assaulting a subway passenger. But, well, that's the hard part, right? Some of these people, even if they very clearly assault somebody, even if they very clearly committed crime, what happens? The DAs, they just let them off. They just let them go. It's very interesting stuff. So that is like half the battle right there, is getting someone convicted. And it's very hard, it seems like, in the state of New York. But the governor's plan also includes a better coordination with district attorneys to help prevent repeat offenders, and an additional $20 million for expanding subway outreach programs. Wow. So even more money for the taxpayer in New York to be responsible for. But New York City Mayor Eric Adams announced plans on Tuesday to have more police patrolling the subways as the city attempts to curb a near 20% increase in crime levels during the first 2 months of 2024 compared to the same period last year, according to NYPD data cited by the New York Post. There were 3 homicides in the underground system over January and February, while incidents such as grand larcenies, felony assaults, and robberies have also skyrocketed. Also, this one's pretty crazy, but on Sunday, a 64-year-old postal worker was kicked onto the tracks at Penn Station in Manhattan, while a 20-year-old woman fought off a man who punched her in the face and tried to sexually assault her in Queens. Last week, a subway conductor was slashed in the neck when he stuck his head out of the cabin window during a stop at a station in Brooklyn. Yeah, these are all crimes that are happening in New York. New York crime is not just on the rise. New York crime has been up for months and months, for probably about a year now. And these people like Kathy Hochul, Alvin Bragg, Eric Adams, they stick their head in the sand and they allow it to get so bad. They allow it to reach a boiling point that now they have to they have to deploy National Guard members, almost 1,000 National Guard members, in order to try to rectify the problem. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is going to fix the problem? To me, this looks like it's going to be just like a Band-Aid on the problem, because I think New York has a lot deeper issues than simply, deploying more police or deploying National Guard. It might help the problem, temporarily, but there are a lot of different problems that this stems from. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.